So, I went and saw the newest historical biopic, Reagan, directed by Sean McNamara and starring Dennis Quaid as the titular character, with Penelope Ann Miller as the First Lady herself. Alongside supporting cast members such as John Voight as a former Russian spy, through whom the whole movie is told, Reagan portrays the life of the Gipper himself, the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. Now, I usually like to keep my eyes away from reviews of movies I know I'm going to see, but I couldn't resist reading what critics had to say about Reagan. And let me tell you, some of the things they said made me question why film critic is even a valid job to begin with. Multiple sources claim that Reagan was nothing more than an idolatrous piece of garbage, with some even saying it was the worst film of 2024. I don't know who they have over there doing reviews, but whoever it is needs to be fired for libel, because in no way is this movie the worst of 2024. At least not with the existence of the Borderlands movie, from what I've heard at least. Now, I'm not here to preach that the movie is perfect, and anyone who dares criticize it should be banished to the Shadow Realm, because it definitely has flaws. For example, there's a few instances where the CGI looks a little strange, like the tombstone of Reagan's dead kid looks off for some reason, and the scene with the helicopter approaching the White House looks really poorly green screened in. Otherwise, the film looks pretty fine, nothing exceptional like Oppenheimer, but it does the job. The actual content of the movie is serviceable. It isn't a storytelling masterpiece or anything, but it includes most of the important things. The way it tells the story actually reminds me a lot of Baz Luhrmann's Elvis movie, just with less budget. With $25 million to work with, the movie does everything you would want a movie about Ronald Reagan to do, except for a few things. First, the AIDS crisis. Now, I'm not an expert on Reagan, but from the little I know, he wasn't exactly proactive in trying to do anything about the AIDS crisis during his presidency. And since he didn't do anything about it, I understand it would be difficult to create scenes around it. However, I feel it deserved more screen time than it got. What the movie does is put literal text on screen during a montage that reads something to the effect of, "Thousands died from AIDS under Reagan's administration." I could literally do the same thing on this video right now. In fact, I will. Here you go. Can I be a movie director now? But in all seriousness, would it have been so hard to film a scene of Dennis Quaid saying one or two sentences about the tragedy of the AIDS crisis? Or at least something more than just putting some words on screen for less than 30 seconds. They gave the Iran-Contra affair actual recorded scenes, so why not the AIDS crisis? Another weird choice they made was the ending. At the end of the movie, they play audio of Reagan reading his message to the people about his dementia diagnosis over footage of him literally riding a horse off into the sunset at Reagan Ranch, which then transitions into, I kid you not, the song Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Denver, which is the most baffling choice of the movie. Not only did Reagan not live in West Virginia, but that song has become such a meme in my lifetime that it ruins any emotional significance it could possibly have. I don't know what I would have chosen, but it definitely wouldn't have been that. The movie then fades to black and rolls the credits, alongside actual footage of Reagan's funeral, which is a questionable decision to say the least. It's like they forgot about the funeral or ran out of budget to film it but still wanted to include it. So they just said, let's just put footage in the credits. Who's even gonna care? Nobody watches credits anyways. And just threw it in there. They also put little summaries of where people in the movie ended up in life after the credits. This movie can't decide whether it's over or not because it's presenting new information, but also rolling the credits. The only things that should be in credits are dedications, thank yous, and teasers for sequels, but I doubt Reagan 2 is coming out since the guy is pretty dead last time I checked. But for a movie I thought was going to be a piece of GOP garbage made by an inexperienced first-time director, I was pleasantly surprised by how good Reagan is. I would recommend giving it a watch, even if you aren't a Republican. It won't change your outlook on life or anything, but it is a nice little film about one of the better US presidents. If I had to rate it out of 10 stars, I would probably say a 7.5 out of 10. 75%. Not exceptional, but still an adequate passing grade. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.